Hi, thank you for joining me for today's video, and today I decided I wanted to challenge myself. A lovely girl had pasted a layout where she cut her photos into hearts, and I said it's something that I never do and I'm trying to challenge myself a bit more, so she challenged me to cut my photos into shapes. So today I've chosen hexagons. These are photos of James from his second birthday. We were at Mum and Dad's caravan, and they had a little party for them, and my sister had bought him this gorgeous raincoat in the shape of a fireman with matching Wellington boots, and he absolutely loved it. So these pictures just capture him drinking his juice. So I'm using my die to draw around as a stencil, if you like, and I'm using a needle to scratch the edges of the photo so that it's easy to see where I need to cut. So now that's done, I'm trying to work out the positioning of my photos, and I want to use the mixed media in the background. So first of all, I'm choosing what I'm going to use on the page, and I'm focusing on Vicki Boutin Print Shop again. I think these colours just go really nicely with these photos. I wanted to pull out the reds, the golds, and possibly a bit of green, and definitely the blacks as well. The green from his juice bottle. So just having to play around at the moment with some of the bits and pieces that I can find in it's mainly the Papyri paper pack, and I think there are some die cuts. I think that number 2 is from the ephemera pack as well. They're all just mixed up together in one of my little containers, so I forget exactly where they're from, but they are all from Vicki Boutin. So as I say, just pulling out some bits and pieces to decide exactly what I want to use on this. I've chosen that number 2 tab because it was his second birthday. And obviously the camera is a nice big icon, and it's got the black. It introduces the black into the things, and then pulling out some bits of green as well. So having a good old play, deciding exactly what to do. These little tags are from Chic Tags. I've had them years and years, and I just pulled out one of the red ones. And then these clear sentiments are from Elle Studio. They're absolutely fabulous. Elle Studio are brilliant for bringing in little bits and pieces that you don't always get in collections, that you can just add to anything. They have colours that match time and time again. So I'd urge you to have a look at what Elle Studio have to offer in the terms of stickers and die cuts and things like that, just to add something extra to your existing collections. So having a play around still, deciding the placement, and in a minute I'll give up, draw around my hexagons and add my mixed media. You can see in the right hand side of the screen I've pulled out my Lumberjack Plaid Distress Oxide because I think that red is a deeper red and it'll work really nicely with these photos. So that's what I'll be using, and I'm using a Tim Holtz, I think the Stampers Anonymous stencil, and it's one of the layering stencils in hexagons, and it's absolutely fabulous. It looks almost like a chicken wire. It might be called chicken wire, I forget now, but that's what I'll be using shortly. But now I'm just deciding which of these clear sentiment stickers I'm going to use from Elle Studio, and I love that one that says you, because it's a layout focusing on James. That's what I wanted to use. So you will have briefly seen that Tim Holtz stencil that I'm going to use there. So just using my pencil to draw around the edges of the hexagon. I want to create a bit of a halo around the edges with the hexagon mask, the stencil. So I'm just drawing around so that I can see exactly where the stenciling needs to go. So just going to move all this ephemera over to one side. I tried to keep it in the right place, but of course that never works, does it? So just scooting it to the left so that I can work on the background. So here is the Lumberjack Plaid. It's an absolutely beautiful red, really rich, deep red colour. I'm really pleased to have it in my collection. And look at how beautiful that stencil is. So trying to add, you can see the first time I forgot to line the hexagons up, so it's a bit of a mess in the middle there, but after that I did line the hexagons up, and this is a great stencil for doing that. It's very, very easy to line up and just get that background all neat and even. So just working on that little seam down the middle between the 2 photos, and then across the top here. Very nearly done. It was a very quick way adding mixed media today. And the pencil lines, which I can just about see through the ink, guide me to where the photos are going to go. So I can see that I've just missed a little bit down here, so just adding a tiny bit more ink. And like I say, it's so very easy to line the stencil up, and you wouldn't know that I'd gone over that at all. So sticking the photos down as they are, I'm not adding any mattes or anything. I think that that stenciling is enough of a matte to create the contrast between the background and the photos. So they're just going down exactly as they are, and then I can bring all that ephemera back in and start layering it up around these photos. So just gluing the bottom of that tab just so that the top stands a little bit proud. I'm not adding any foam or anything behind it, but it can just stand up a little bit, giving a bit of dimension. And then working on where these went. And of course, I can't remember exactly where I put everything, so I have a real faff about now, trying to work out where I want to put things. I want to get these washi stickers stuck down quickly because they go on the bottom layer. So, and then the camera, because it's such a big icon, I know exactly where that is going, so that can be glued down as well. And then it's just working all these labels and things. And I've pulled that acetate heart off the Elle Studio sheet, and I just have to keep moving it around until I've decided exactly where it's all going to go. These labels cause me some trouble. I think I had the word you underneath the second photo at first, but I've moved it across. The layout looks beautiful and balanced at the end of it, but it's just funny how quickly you forget where things are. So this was just a little flash that was in those Elle Studio stickers, and I thought it worked really nicely next to the camera, and it was in the right colours, so adding that. And then this water stain or cup stain from the Papyri paper pack. Again, a washi sticker, so just getting that stuck down. And then these label pieces. So just moving things about. And then once it's in place, I don't really want to move it, so I'm just using my wet glue to squeeze it underneath each of the labels to get those stuck down. Just checking that everything's straight. Not my forte. And that's nearly there, so just going to add that U now. So I want to ask, is this something you do? Do you challenge yourself to do something out of your comfort zone? I think since doing the Christie's 30 days of sketches, it has moved me to do things that I wouldn't normally do. And some of the layouts that I did, I'm really pleased with. So I'm trying to create new challenges for myself and see what I can come up with. And again, this is another one. I've cut those photos into hexagons and I absolutely love the layout. It's certainly something that I'll do again. So I'm just bringing in some older pieces now. These are old, I think they're Lily Bee stickers, and it just says My Boy. And then some of the Elle Studio puffy hearts are always great. That beautiful wood JD3DPrint arrow from the Love Arrows set. I love those. You'll see me using them time and time again because they're nice and long and they really create a feature on a layout. They're great with a word layered above them as well. So if it went underneath that word you, it would look really cute. And then one of our Hey Little Magpie flare badges. I love these white on black. I think they're great. So now just coming in with the journaling. It's just explaining that James got this coat from his Auntie Lindsay for his 2nd birthday and that he loved it. And then coming back in with a heart on the bottom right-hand side of that journaling just to create balance again. And once I've done that, I decide that I want to bring a bit more black in around the photos. So first of all, I'm just going to doodle a couple of border lines around the 2 hexagon photos. And then once those are down, I come in with a Zig marker pen. Any marker pen would do, just a thicker black pen to colour in some of those hexagons. Oh, sorry, first of all, I'm adding a bit more journaling to these labels, just saying when it was, which was 17th of June 2009, their 2nd birthday, and where we were at Granny and Grandpa's caravan. And then on the top label, I add that it was North Wales because they put the caravan there while they were helping my sister renovate her home. So now coming in with this Zig marker pen just to, as I say, colour in some of the hexagons around. And it really brings that black in and makes everything pop just that little bit more. I love doing doodling to add a little bit of something to a layout. It's really nice. So I think I just choose 4 or 5 around the edge, just interspersed with the other inked hexagons. So one on this right-hand side border and then one on the left-hand side border, just a half on the left. And it really does make everything pop. So now that's done, I'm going to come in with my Nouveau Crystal Drops in Ebony Black. I use these all the time. Definitely a colour you should have in your collection if you like these bold graphic layouts and designs. And when that's done, I want a little bit more splattering. I feel like it's all too controlled. So I do come in with my black soot Distress Oxide spray and just add a few splatters of that at the end. And it really does finish the layout off. So just these are some little Project Life arrows that I'm adding. These are very old stash, but I just wanted to add a few more little bits around the edge. And then here's that splattering with the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide. Really hope you've enjoyed this layout. It was great fun for me. Thank you so much for joining in. Stay till the end to see the close-ups, and I shall see you again very soon. Thanks again. Bye.